All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High, family. What it do? What it do? Y'all, I'm just taking a stroll in my new city, you dig? You dig what I'm saying? All praises to the Most High, you dig? But check it out, as I'm just walking, getting a little exercise, keep this old body flexible. And I just noticed, check this out, right across the street is a big church. This place, Fort Wayne, is the church capital of America. Look right there on the very next block. Another one right there, and another big one way down there. One right here, and one right here. This just in the same vicinity. This just in the same immediate vicinity. But that's all good. It is all good. The cost of living is really cheap in Fort Wayne. I think about the 4th or the 5th cheapest city to live in the United States. Now look across the street. See that building right there? It says Indiana, Michigan Power. So Michigan and Indiana have this this deal where they handle utilities for Indiana and Michigan. You dig what I'm saying? But family, you know, see Minnesota family is that place used to be, you know, the bomb, boomtown USA. That's what led me to leave Indiana in 1994. I did some research. So I went in the library in Gary, downtown on 5th Avenue. And in my mind, I was going to the state with the strongest economy. So when I went to the library in Gary back in 1994, on the newsstand rack, all the major cities had a newspaper. So I'm checking out the job market in each newspaper. How you doing? And I checked out the Los Angeles Times, New York Times, Philadelphia. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I was leaving Indiana. And St. Louis, I checked out the newspaper. The Atlanta Journal, I checked it out. All the job market sections, you know, was job skimpy, unless you really have some skills. You know, I think I looked at about 9 newspapers, and I picked up a Minneapolis Star Tribune. It's called a Minnesota Star Tribune now. But back then, the employment section was like this thick, family. I said, okay, I know where I'm going now. You dig? Now, Fort Wayne is like Minneapolis was. When I first came up there, everybody was from somewhere else. Everybody was from somewhere else. And I've been chit-chatting, small talk with a few people, and most people I talk to is from somewhere else, like Chicago, and maybe about 4 people I met from Chicago, and some from Fort Wayne. But, you know, it's all good. Like I said, family, I'm just taking a walk, keep myself flexible. You know what I'm saying? But, what's the word? What's the word? In the book of Deuteronomy, family, chapter 28, where the Holy Scriptures are describing, it says, these curses will be on Yah's chosen people. The harsh things that his chosen people has gone through. Like slavery around the world. We lost our nationality. We lost our identity. you know, who we are as a people and our heritage. The scripture says in Deuteronomy 28 that this sign would be a mark on the Most High's chosen people forever. Just like the nails that were nailed in Yahushua Mashiach's hands and feet, those marks are still in his hands and feet to this day while he's in paradise. So even when Yahushua Mashiach comes and when the Father 1,000 years later descend the New Jerusalem, family, this mark will still be on Yah's chosen people because it said this mark will be on us forever. So we will ever be known and recognized as his people because of the curses that we went through for so many centuries. Can no other group in the history of this world, can no other group that's in the world today claim that they have this mark, because no other group has gone through it but the so-called Negroes worldwide in every island and every nation on this earth planet, on this planet, family. You digging what I'm saying? You know, a lot of people want to claim that they're his chosen people, but they don't have these signs. They don't have these marks that they lost their identity, that they lost their nationality, that they lost their heritage, their land. No other group can claim that. So Father Yah says in his word in the book of Deuteronomy 28 that this will be a sign and a mark on his chosen people forever. So can't nobody take that away from us. Everybody want to be calling themselves God's chosen people. How do black people know that they are Israel, Yashar'al? We know because these marks are on us. The signs are on us that we lost our heritage, which is our land. We lost our identity, which is who we are as a people. But thanks to our Father Yah and the Ruach HaKodesh, we know who we are now, family. We know who we are now. So don't even waste your time going back and forth with somebody trying to deny that you know exactly who you are. You know, I just chuckle at them. It's almost like somebody telling me they know my middle name and I don't. See, you ain't finna argue with nobody that come at you like that. Same thing with knowing your identity, knowing that you are a part of the 12 tribes of Yashar'al, on every nation, in every island on this planet, family. That's the sign and the mark of who Yah's chosen people are. The ones who went through slavery worldwide, who lost their heritage, which is our land, and our identity, which is who we are, our nationality, okay? Which is Hebrew Israelites, to be more precise. So family, you know, I'm not in my whip, you dig? I'm not in the whip. I got the scriptures in the whip. You dig what I'm saying? But I'm gonna just people catting about, people moving out and about, just like I am. Seems like a lot of hustle and bustle. All right, what's up, man? Seems like a lot of hustle and bustle early this morning. You dig what I'm saying, family? You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm still in the process of getting situated, family. That whole ride coming this way, family. See, a couple of mechanics told me some wrong information in Minnesota. Told me I needed some motor mounts on my car. So I started Googling stuff, researching what does cars do when they have bad motor mounts. And the stuff that it described didn't describe anything my car is doing. So I went to get my tires balanced day before yesterday in Columbia Heights. They told me All you need is a front end alignment. So in Fort Wayne, I got an appointment to get that done in a week. Okay, so it's all good. You dig? And it's all good. The thing I wanted to say about Minnesota, family, is that you dig, they allowed the people to come and steal all the taxpayers' money. You know what I'm saying? And so there's no Medicaid in Minnesota. Section 8 is closed because, you know, the politicians and the foreigners, mostly from Somalia, and I'm not knocking all Somalians, just the ones who was caught up in the scam of stealing all those millions. You know, matter of fact, my tax preparer in Minnesota was a Somalian guy, and he was cool. He'd been doing my taxes for like 4 or 5 years. And he was actually helping me out on other stuff that I needed, you know, and wouldn't charge me like the Gentile would before him. But anyway, so in order to try to recoup the money back that was stolen, all those billions of dollars from Section 8 and the billions of dollars that was stolen that caused Medicaid to go broke, right when I retired in 2026 and I qualified for Medicaid, you know, there wasn't no more money. I was on it for a month. They cut me off and put me on something else called Medica. And then I was on that for a month. They cut me off that and put me on, they was finna put me on Minshore. You know, I just say forget it. You know, and see how they trying to recoup the money back from all the money that was stolen from the taxpayers was that they taxing everybody on the gas. They taxing everybody on the gas in Minnesota, trying to blame it on the ordeal, the conflict with America and Iran. You did, but see, that's bull. Because if that was the case, gas would be high like that all over the nation. See, you know, them politicians don't give a care about the citizens. They don't care about the taxpayers. They only care about themselves and lining their pockets. That's why this country is $40 trillion in debt. You know, and they allowed the foreigners to come over here and steal money as long as they was gonna get those votes when the election time came around. But look right here. Look at the gas prices. Regular, $3.39. $3.39 here in Indiana. After I got my tires balanced in Minnesota, day before yesterday, gas was $4.05 there in my neighborhood in Minnesota. $4.05. And here in Indiana, it's just $3.39. And some places probably cheaper than that. You know what I'm saying? So they trying to get the billions back that they stole, and they let the, you know, the foreigners who were caught up in it. You know, they trying to get the money back by charging the taxpayers more money for gas. That is so cold-blooded, man. That is so cold-blooded. You dig? But hey, y'all. So please remember that word. Now, if anybody try to tell you you don't know what you're talking about when you tell them that you are a Hebrew Israelite, the word of Yah says that these signs will be a mark on his people forever. So can't nobody else say that they went through what we went through. Sold around the world as all nations and islands as slaves. They stole our heritage and identity. Can no other people claim that? Can no other group on earth claim that? But those of us who the world call Negroes. Okay, family, so stay tuned for more videos. I'm still trying to get situated. Right now, I'm just on an exercise walk. So let me get back to it, family. Peace and love to each and every last one of you. All praises to the Most High. One love and shalom.